Dear online attendees from home and abroad, as well as friends watching the live stream, greetings and welcome to the UN NGO CSW 68, Boosting Women's Workplace and Economic Competitiveness through Cross-Domain Collaboration Forum. We are delighted to see so many of you who care deeply about this issue joining us today. I'm Fresa Huang, the Secretary General of Heregungho Association. On behalf of the host, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you for taking the time to participate in this 2-hour international forum, where we will be focusing on how to enhance women's economic empowerment. I'm so confident that we will have a fruitful exchange today. Before we officially start the forum, to ensure smooth proceedings, I would like to remind all participants to please mute your microphones throughout the session. Additionally, if you have any questions or wish to share your perspectives during the forum, feel free to leave them in the chat box. Our team will compile them for discussion with the panelists during the Q&A session. Or you can use the hand-raising feature during the Q&A time to show your interest in speaking up. Furthermore, if you have friends who wish to join the forum but were unable to register, the forum is being live-streamed concurrently, and the link to the live stream will be posted in the chat box for sharing. This forum will be conducted in English, but simultaneous interpreting between English and Mandarin is available today. And the link will also be provided in the chat box. If you encounter any issues during the forum, please don't hesitate to raise them in the chat box, and our staff will assist you promptly. Once again, thank you all of your cooperation. Today, we are so glad to invite several important speakers to share their valuable practical experience with us. First of all, I would like to introduce our moderator, Vivian Hong. She's a female entrepreneur of small and medium-sized enterprise, and is also a mother, runs a company named Seagrant. Welcome, Vivian. And the next speaker is Lucy Zhang. She's a social worker from Social Welfare Department of New Taipei City Government. And the third speaker is Jenny Tsai. She is also a social worker from the Taiwan Women's Development Association. And we also have a speaker, Li Mei Ling, the Director General of the Gongliao District Fishermen's Association in New Taipei City, who came from far away from the Gongliao seaside in the northeast corner in the early morning. And at least we would like to introduce Anna Li Yao, the co-founder of Mingalabar Cultural Studio and Senji Tea House. Oh, it's a difficult pronunciation. Thank you very much for coming. Now it's time to get started. Let's leave the time to our moderator, Vivian.
Hi, good morning, everyone. It's Friday, and also some people might join from the Eastern time. It's Thursday evening. So my name is Vivian Hong. Today, I'm very happy and very honored to be your host here. Before we start, I would like to remind you that there is an emoji button in your WebEx window. So if you see there is a thumb up emoji, a plus emoji, so let's try it. Anyone want to try? So please do not hesitate to give the speaker any feedback. They are like, cannot sleep very well last night, stayed up late fixing the slides still. So let's give them a big applause. Okay, let's get started. As the 68th section of the UN Women take place, virtual parallel events has been organized by women's group worldwide. with accelerating the achievement of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls by addressing poverty and strengthening institutions and financing with a gender perspective. As its priority theme, countries are invited to host forums to involve representatives who care about women's welfare from the government, industry, academia, and civil society around the world. The forums include both physical sections in New York and online sections. Today, the Forum on Boosting Women's Workplace and Economic Competitiveness through Cross-Domain Collaboration, co-organized by the Social Welfare Department of New Taipei City Government and Heregungho 这里共好 Association, as one of the forums taking place during CSW 68. We all know that effectively enhancing women's economic power by poverty, alleviation, and self-realization requires improvement of individual employability, fair job opportunity, a friendly environment for entrepreneurship and employment, and also, of course, external financial support. Cross-sector collaboration is indispensable for helping women secure stable employment or start their own business, which leads to women's economic self-sufficiency. Therefore, in today's forum, we'll share our experience in cross-sector collaboration and economic empowerment in New Taipei City, which includes programs in both urban and rural areas. We'll have NPO together with the Social Welfare Department from New Taipei City to share experience in nurturing women's talent through the integration of industry, demand, training, and employment. We'll have economic empowerment of women in a fishery village in Gongliao, and to have the improvement of the cross-cultural Myanmar street community. For those incredible speakers, I will introduce to you more later. We'll share with you how they help local communities turn disadvantage to strength through cross-domain collaboration and how they address potential challenges. So, as the moderator today and also as an entrepreneur, I'll have 10 minutes to share with you the female entrepreneurial environment from my perspective. Also, I'll walk through how different organizations help me to establish a starting up company. I'm founder of Seagrants, a brand selling grain agricultural products. I'm an early member of Heregungho Association, working on supporting female entrepreneurs to reach their goal in life. Also, I provide lectures in employment and vocational training service of the Ministry of Labor. Before 2018, for over a decade, I worked in a stable corporate job. There, where the routine consists of office work, like meetings, emails, client deadlines that never seem to be end. However, after having my first baby, I seriously thought if this is truly what I want. I questioned myself if the desire was something that I could pursue for a lifetime, or it's just a fleeting wish. So, after a series of reflections, I embarked on the adventurous journey of entrepreneurship in 2018. My father-in-law owns a 50-year-old rice shop like this. So I want to transform this traditional rice shop by modernizing its operations and offer healthy grain options. Thus, I began to sell this new product online. Things are not as simple as I thought. It's not just about putting things online and customer will come to buy it. As a one-person company, I need to learn about branding, marketing, advertising online, taking photos, financial calculations, inventory, choosing distribution channels, pricing. Difficult and almost burned out of my mind and money. And remember, I was a mother with a daughter and another was on her way. In the year of 2021, during the peak of pandemic, I joined the Women Startup Accelerator, which is a part of the Women Entrepreneurship Program initiated by the Small and Medium Enterprise Administration. This program offers various resources to support women entrepreneurs and faster and inclusive, fair, and supportive entrepreneurial environment. Through this accelerator, we had courses, venture capital visit, mentorship, and pitch days. So they facilitate connections with resources, and to me, I feel like it's a warm program that significantly enhanced my entrepreneurial skill and helped establish local networks. From there, I feel like I level up from the entrepreneurship toddler class to the preschool class. At the same time, there is a community called Her Attitude, Taiwan Women's Entrepreneurship Support and Development Association. This association provides female entrepreneurs to exchange and share experiences. She provides not only business resources, but the inner support of women entrepreneurs who are yielding a work-life balance and opportunity equality. Her Attitude, composed by 50% of the micro enterprises or studio like under 10 staff. And this is the stage that need resource connection and bargain power in a negotiation table, as well as the new technology trade and government experiences. There are online forums, enterprise visits, the different cross event. Also, Her Attitude published her book, which collects 17 members' story as a practical handbook of sharing a new business. Sorry. We also joined the Refugee Women Empowerment Project in the Turkish Syrian border town of Rihali. We told and hear stories from each other, exchange product as a gift. We know it's the same that a group of women is trying hard to open the market with their own hand and to create opportunity. Each of her want the same thing, stand on her feet, economic independence. So now you may ask, why we're talking about women entrepreneurship associations. Various factors can serve as barriers to her, who often prioritizing family responsibilities. She might leave well-established career to start business while balancing life commitments like me. Therefore, when we gathered, it's never considered strange to bring your children along, even when discussing topics like blockchain or market trades. Some might even volunteer to take care of the kids. I believe this scenario is never or rarely seen in a men's business associations. So, how it works? Cross-domain collaboration among government, NGOs, communities, financing institutions, and a private business entity can collectively provide women entrepreneurs with comprehensive support and services, assisting them realizing their entrepreneurial dreams and driving economic development and social progress. After a few years, the new look of a 50-year-old bread shop like this. That's because we attend a government program which subsidized those old shops to rebrand. Let's go into some points of the female entrepreneur environment from my view. According to the 2021 MasterCard Women Entrepreneurship Index, Taiwan ranked first in Asia and sixth in global ranking. The report mentioned we have an extremely high ranking of government entrepreneur policy support and programs. This reflects the importance of the government support and a concrete entrepreneurial foundation as driver of women's ability to grow the business in the business world. And the why behind women's may differ from men, with a greater emphasis on achieving a balanced life and realizing self-worth, while maintaining flexibilities to balance various rules. So the scale of the venture might not be the primary consideration of her. However, fragmented time, multiple rules, concern of others, and valuing social vision over personal gain. Women can turn these characters into unique business weapons. For example, 电电租 came from two mothers that want to rent their idle appliance out, like window clean machine or air purifier, to create income when they taking care of kids at home. It results the first home appliance rental and sharing platform in Taiwan. Taking the wave of sharing economy, they gain a lot of focus and volume. Also, there are some challenges that I saw. We women are high risk awareness. Therefore, we are conservative when estimating growth. That causes we easily stop in front of the big turning point. This is the story of little monster dumplings, Yating. Because of her own baby, she made delicious, healthy, one-bite dumplings that became very popular in the community group buying. More and more people want to buy from far away. But during the transit, the cold chain caused the dumpling to lose temperature, resulting in money and reputation loss during the major holidays. At the same time, if she wants to go to the big online channels like Momo, the cost of the food nutrition labels and inspection and certifications make her to stop her feet. Let me actually round up here and let's think. Struggling to switch between different roles, rather than saying that this is a challenge that we need to overcome, it's more about that we cherish connections between people and recognize that each role contributes to the growth of life. This helps us to remember that when you succeed in entrepreneurship or other domains, we still need the good health, a happy family, a financial freedom, meaningful life with friends. And we hope personal interests can be taken off as well. What's that? Let's call it superwomen. So thank you all very much for taking your time to listen to my story. So for those substantial and emotional support that I have received from both governmental and NGOs, it's truly an honor to be today's moderator speaker, because the upcoming speakers are really making an impact in various fields to enhance women's economic empowerment. The first speaker is Jenny Tsai, who is the social worker from Taiwan Women's Development Association, together with Lucy Zhang from New Taipei City Government. As my understanding of Taiwan Women's Development Association, rather than giving them fish to eat, they teach them fishing. Them means those are disadvantaged women. Working with the government's policy, they are the first line to assist women who might be single parents, middle age, etc. They know the struggle in her life, and they know the difficulty that sister faced too. Let's welcome Lucy to give us a picture from top down and how government and NGO support sisters. Welcome, Lucy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lucy. Good local time. I'm a social worker from the Social Welfare Department of New Taipei City Government. On behalf of the department, I'd like to warmly welcome all of you. When it comes to enhancing women's economic empowerment, the city government has been thinking about how to create atypical employment models in recent years, aiming to prevent women from being excluded from the job market due to their inability to work regular hours. We're happy to have worked with the Taiwan Women's Development Association in recent years to promote a project focusing on integrating training and employment for postpartum caregivers. With this project as a foundation, we hope to develop more atypical employment mechanisms. The Social Welfare Department has long been attentive to the employment challenges and needs of women in disadvantaged situations. We have found that many women are forced to leave the workforce due to marriage and childbirth, as well as the demands of family caregiving as they struggle to balance work and caregiving duties, health issues, career interruptions, and lack of confidence. These personal and family factors often hinder their smooth return to the workforce. Moreover, within the broader social context, factors such as gender and age discrimination inadequate caregiving resources and employment opportunities in rural areas, as well as cultural differences and nationality discrimination. Facing female new immigrants, making more difficult for women to re-enter the workforce and achieve economic stability. The key reason for developing this project is that New Taipei City Government recognized the postpartum care needs of women back in 2020, leading to the creation of the home-based postpartum care services for vulnerable families. These services primarily offer counseling, pregnancy support, and postpartum care for disadvantaged women. Over the years, we not only discovered that disadvantaged individuals were diverse in their circumstances, but also encountered issues with resource coordination. This led us to launch our project, which aims to empower women in disadvantaged situations to become service providers. We offer training in professions that tap into female strengths, as well as support services such as child care, hoping to enable women with family care responsibilities to balance both their family and work duties through flexible working hours, thereby preparing them for re-entry into the workforce in the future. And in addition to the New Taipei City Government Social Welfare Department, we also work with NPOs in the civil society by leveraging their years of experience in assisting women with employment. We integrate resources from various departments within New Taipei City, including social welfare, public health, labor affairs, and other private resources to establish a comprehensive cooperation network. Thus, we have established an empowerment model that addresses the employment challenges facing disadvantaged women from the front end. We have introduced typical employment models that align with our philosophy of mentoring and empowerment by integrating resources from both the private and public sectors. Our empowerment programs include flexible scheduling and childcare services, along with job support and the expansion of atypical job opportunities for women. Okay, now let me invite our project partner, a social worker from the Taiwan Women's Development Association, to explain how this project is executed. And let's welcome Jenny.
Thank you, Lucy. Hi, everyone. I'm Jenny. I'm a social worker from the Taiwan Women's Development Association. Today, I'm briefly introduce how we train women in disadvantaged situations and subsequently facilitate their transition into employment. To assist women in disadvantaged situations with their postnatal care needs, New Taipei City Government launched the project of home-based postpartum care service for vulnerable families in March 2021. We found in the process that besides care, economic pressure are also a common challenge facing these women. Therefore, in the following years, the government introduced the Employment Empowerment Support Program for women in disadvantaged situations to enhance their job opportunity.
To make it possible for women to freely plan their work hours based on their family and child care situation, in 2021, we focused on training postpartum caregivers. And a typical form of employment, this project not only broadened the workforce for home-based postpartum care service, but also expanded the range of service provided by the platform. In addition to infant care training, compared to general child care personnel training, we have added training the postpartum meal preparation and maternal care. As of last year, a total of 45 individuals have undergone this training program with a total of 459 training hours. Over the past 3 years, the women who received our training include 13 from economically disadvantaged backgrounds, 8 single mothers, 21 middle-aged women, and 11 new immigrant women. After 2 years of running the postpartum caregiver training program, we noticed that some women struggled with communication and expressing themselves, often creating conflict or challenge in conveying their thoughts to the families they served. Therefore, last year we partnered with a company specialized in housekeeping to introduce a new training program for housekeeping, which is also a form of atypical employment to address this communication issue to expand the job option for women. Compared to postpartum caregiver, household service workers have less interaction with clients and do not face the pressure of caring for newborns and mothers. The program includes instruct on basic cleaning tool and teach different cleaning methods for each area and room in the home, making home cleaning easier for women. In the past year, the housekeeping training program for women in disadvantaged situations include 10 economically vulnerable women and 3 single mothers, 10 middle-aged women, and 3 new immigrant women. In terms of transition to jobs, we encourage women who have completed the postpartum caregiver training program to join the platform of the home-based postpartum care service for vulnerable families. In 3 years, 15 trainees have signed contract with the platform after completing their training. As for the housekeeping training program this year, we invite 2 major home cleaning platforms, 556AA Life and Jacka Cleaning, to recruit service personnel after the training. This helps women understand the operational process of the platform and how they charge, enabling potential housekeepers to decide which platform to join based on their needs. We have also found some women have been away from workplace for a long time, have lost confidence in their abilities. Through the support of our training instructor and social workers during the course, we empower these women to believe in their capability to return to work. Beyond the course itself, we engage with the women through SNS group during off hours to discuss their learning needs and practice status. After the training concludes, we continue to check in with them within the group to follow up on their post-training life and employment status, ensuring that they feel supported and encouraged throughout their journey back into the workforce. To increase employment confidence among trained women, we originally planned to have experienced postpartum caregiver accompany trainee to home as interns before they start providing service. However, due to the pandemic, many families refused to allow both the intern and the experienced caregiver to enter their home together. This year, with pandemic restriction easing, we hope to increase internship opportunities. However, after discussing with families due to privacy and newborn health concerns, many still were hesitant to allow intern staff into their homes. We changed our approach afterward, seeking partnership instead with postpartum care center and platform to provide internship for our trainee. Unfortunately, the platform we contact prefer to prioritize internships and cases for their own trainees, not accepting externals. And most of the care staff in this center are nurses, but postpartum caregivers. Many of our trainees were not able to complete their internship. Therefore, even if many of them had successfully completed their training and signed a contract with the platform of New Taipei City home-based postpartum care service for vulnerable families, they are hesitant to take on cases independently due to the lack of practical internship experience. This year, in addition to postpartum care platform and center, we will also try to cooperate with postpartum meal supplier to explore our internship opportunities. However, we still hope that our trainees can directly work alongside experienced caregivers when going into household for internship to gain a practical understanding of duty of postpartum caregivers. And let's return to Lucy.
Thank you, Jenny. Okay. So, in summary, our collaboration between the public and private sectors not only align with Article 11 of the CEDAW Convention to enhance women's economic and employment rights, but also resonate with the SDGs. By enabling suitable job opportunities and economic growth for disadvantaged women, we aim to enhance women's economic empowerment and eliminate poverty. In addition to achieving gender equality, we also aim to create diverse partnerships through collaboration between the public and private sectors. Going forward, we will continue to expand the types of employment opportunities available to disadvantaged women, collaborate with CSOs to create supportive work environments, enhance the quality of training and certification rates and improve the service knowledge and skill set of caregivers. Also, when it comes to rural areas, we will continue to enhance human resources in caregiving to narrow the gap between urban and rural areas. Most importantly, we will establish a collaborative model between the social welfare and labor affairs departments to maximize the benefits and coordination of service and employment empowerment for disadvantaged populations. Okay, and thank you for listening. I hope you all enjoyed our sharing.
Thank you, Lucy and Jenny. I do enjoy the speaking. I see a beautiful chant to support disadvantaged women. I like the typical working model so much because I think it's very important for a woman like me to have the flexibility to my family. Thank you. So next speaker, we move from teaching them fishing to who is really do the fishing. Let's welcome Li Meiling, Director General of Gongliao District Fishermen's Association of New Taipei City. She is taking us to the sea of northeastern location in Taiwan. We can see the women's workplace in a rural fishing village from her eye, and how they worked in such a man-leading industry and help sisters there to boost their workplace. Let's welcome Li Mei.
Hello. Hello everyone, I am Li Mei from the Gongliao District Fishermen's Association of New Taipei City. Thanks a lot for having me here to share out experience in the economic development of Gongliao Fishery Village, and look forward to exchanging views there.
As we all know, the purpose of the Fishermen's Association is to protect the rights and interests of fishermen, enhance their knowledge and skills, boost their production and income, improve their living conditions, modernize fisheries, and enhance their development. However, what I mainly want to share with you today is what we have seen from our work experience in the Fishermen's Association over these years, about economic development constraints and dilemmas for women in fishing villages, and the recognized economic contribution of women in the community, whether it enhances women's production value in fishing villages or safeguarding their rights. Fishing is considered a labor and skill-intensive occupation, with sea operation predominantly carried out by men. Life and work at sea, including eating, drinking, and sleeping on the boat, are deemed not suitable for women. Traditionally, women are primarily engaged in supporting roles such as mending nets, sorting and selling fish, and take care of the family. Therefore, traditional views have thought fishing as a male-dominated field. Moreover, traditional taboos also prevent women from engaging in fishing activities. Violating these taboos could at least affect the catch and at worst affect personal and family safety. For instance, allowing women on boats is believed to negatively affect the catch and offend the deities on board, causing misfortune in operations. I grew up in a fishing family in Audi, with my father as a fisherman and my mother as a female diver. I have been very much aware of the hardships faced by illiterate fishermen. Thus, I was determined to serve the fishing community, and I have now been deeply rooted myself in the association for nearly 4 decades. My core belief is, I am a daughter nurtured by the sea. Fishermen are the foundation of the association, and we all one family. During this time, I'm committed to resolving local factions and sharing experiences with others with an open mind. We are united by the spirit of service and do what's right with full effort. This unity strengthens our commitment to local fisheries development. This has created an image of me as a big sister in the mind of fishermen. In fact, it is not easy to obtain cross-sector resources to help the remote Gongliao fishing village develop its economy. Our village faces significant difficulties in allocating resources during its geographical challenges, including its remote northeastern location in Taiwan, narrow and elongated terrain, limited flat land, and restrict access to external road networks. To successfully secure funds for development, we also need to submit proposals. Even so, as long as you are willing, cross-border resources are not impossible to find. By bringing in experts from the public sector, education, fisheries research institutions, and productions and marketing agencies, we aim to provide professional guidance and coaching, increasing the knowledge and the skills of fishermen and residents in fishing villages. With determination and an unwavering spirit, together with the functioning of organizations, strength naturally comes through. Despite challenges, we have worked hard to establish and improve the abalone and sea year aquaculture class, the home economic volunteer class, and the 4-H clubs. Among them, the production and the marketing of abalone and sea year relies more on the collaboration of cross-sector professional resources. Considering the uncertainties of virus outbreaks and weakened reproduction due to environmental changes in abalone and sea year aquaculture, we worked with government agencies to continuously seek better breeding line through expert cultivation techniques. We have also gathered cultivators from the sea to form a production and marketing class that's maintaining the unique characteristics of Taiwan's fishery products. When men and out-of-sea fishing, women in fishing village work through the night repairing nets. Upon a bountiful return, they sort the catch onshore, cook and dry fish, and take it to the market for auction. They also invisibly play the dual role of strict father and loving mother, managing the children and household. They symbolize mother's significant contributions to traditional fishing culture. To preserve this, we have established home economic volunteer class where village women can pass down their experiences and skills to future generation. In these years, what strategies have been implemented by the Fishery Association to effect change in the industry? What resources have been introduced to enhance the economic contribution to women in fishing villages and to increase the economic welfare of fisheries and fishermen? The main strategy is to promoting local, trusted products such as the exclusive seaside specialty Gongliao abalones, the mackerel and horse mackerel fishery marketing, and the rubbing fish marketing, as shown in the photo on the screen. You can see that. As a woman in the past, there were taboos against female fishing in the fishery industry. To understand the working environment of fishermen, I have participated in the fishing trips, accompanied fishermen in nearshore aquaculture and harvesting, and even raised abalone myself. Can you believe? I experienced this firsthand that fishermen working by themselves cannot sustain in the long term. Some can produce but do not know how to market, often leading to poor prices. By strategically changing and uniting local aquaculture fishermen to establish a marketing group, we create the Gongliao abalone brand, making Gongliao the home of Taiwan's domestic abalone. To enhance the freshness of the catch and promote production and sales, thereby increasing the value of fishery products and helping fishermen expand the market, we introduced the fresh frozen Gongliao abalone and abalone braised in soy sauce, among other fresh frozen fishery products for consumers to choose from. We are partnered with many well-known domestic food processing companies to develop abalone meal kits, canned abalone, canned ribbon fish, and ribbon fish crisps, thus promoting unique local fishery products through cross-sector integration. Through the central and local government, the home market, the online marketing, we aim to directly boost the fishermen's income and improve their lives. As you can see, our revenue exceeded 250 million NT dollars. Claps! Moreover, we have promoted recreational fishing in Gongliao to enhance the economy of the fishing ports by ensuring safe area for leisure fishing boat passengers to board and disembark. At the same time, local fishermen were integrated to jointly establish the Blue Ocean Fleet, fostering the communal spirit and a long-term commitment to the protection of marine resources and sustainability of the fishing industry. The Maoao village within our jurisdiction boasts its natural bay, geographic, and fishing resources. Historically, fishermen relies on small boats, fishing rods, and manure harvesting for seawood, sea urchins, etc. as their primary fishing methods, creating unique fishing cultures. To ensure the sustainability of fishing resources, we worked with the government to designate Maoao Bay as the country's first aquaculture demonstration zone. Despite strong initial resistance from the fishermen, with continuous communication and coordination, we help them understand the importance in conserving fishing resources. This effort not only protects our beautiful marine environment, but also introduces local fisheries to the public, ensuring the continuation of the fishing technique and the culture heritage of our village. The process represents a shift from traditional cultural heritage to modern development, ensuring sustainable construction within the sector. This transition considers local needs and policy directions, ranging from recreational services for fishermen to operational services, and modernizing facilities for production and marketing of products. Given the limited local financial resources, it becomes essential to actively seek support from both center and local government. At present, we are actively planning to build a number of projects. We also look forward to making the fishing port move toward modernization and sustainable development. improving its governance environment. Further, developing the strategy of cross-industry alliances, introducing major domestic food and supplies manufacturers, changing food safety consumption habits, thus leading the fish industry toward modernization and creating job opportunity for young people in fishing villages. And we all know in this forum, everyone was focused on the woman economic. So now I have some minutes to introduce the woman economic in Maoao village. On the other hand, in terms of promoting women's economic development, now Maoao Fishing Village has become a coastal community. We share a common vision of harmony and prosperity between humanity and the ocean, with the goal to achieve symbiosis between people and the sea. We seek support from center and the local government, fishing associations, school, community centers, local government offices, fishermen, and residents to participate in marine environmental education, culture and traditional skills promotion, community empowerment, and citizen scientist and leisure fishing education. The establishment of Maoao Fishing Demonstration Area has affected the change in the development of the Maoao Community Association. Currently, the association is chaired by a woman who taps into the strength of the woman in the community to lead tourists in DIY seafood jelly making and ecological environment coastal area tours. She also introduced the evolution of fishing tools and devils into the fishing village life with female divers. Gathering seafood and conscious, ending with tasting local specialty foods such as rice noodles with squid and a direct sale of seafood. That's revitalizing the fishing economy. The growth of the tourism and the leisure economy in Maoao Fishing Village has encouraged women in the community to start their business. From 9 to 9 restaurants, including canteen, snacks, ice stores, coffee shop, etc. This change in fishing activities has awakened women to drive local economic development, not only preserving the female diver culture, but also steering toward a food-based economy. We welcome everyone to visit Gongliao. When passing through Gongliao, be sure to take a walk in Maoao Fishing Village to appreciate the vast mountains and seascape and feel the vibrant fishing village culture of Maoao. Finally, what I want to share with you is that along the way, we firmly believe that I am an evolving fishing village. Gender is no longer an obstacle if we maintain a passion for service, gratitude, and mindset that stays relevant. The development of fishing village will continue sustainably and thrive going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Li Mei and the helper. So I checked the weather this weekend. It's very good. So I encourage everyone can go to Maoao. I'll ask for a discount coupon. If you say you are from the CSW forum, then we might have some discount. Let's see. So after walking around the village, those abalone sea ears who feel a little bit hungry, I do. Let's go eat. Do you know there is a little Myanmar street in Zhonghe? They served delicious traditional Myanmar food. Besides food, you can imagine how many immigration people in the community. The next speaker, we have Annalie Yao from Mingalapar. She is the co-founder of Mingalapar Cultural Studio. She will bring us to the street and see what's happening there. Let's go with her.
Okay, Minglaba everyone. Minglaba is hello in Burmese. So my name is Annalie, the co-founder of Minglaba Culture Studio. Today I'm here with you to share with how we work with immigrant women and to support them. And I want also unveil the journey of this cross-culture empowerment in our community here in Little Myanmar community here in Taiwan. At Minglaba, our aim is to tell the story from the perspective of local immigrants and explore the diversity of South Asian culture in Taiwan through food and cultural experience. And to further, we would like to foster cultural confidence among immigrant women. So on the slide next to me is my co-founder, Lily Yan. She was born and raised in Myanmar. She moved to Taiwan at the age of 10. And after moving to Taiwan, she's been living in this Little Myanmar community for over 30 years. So like I said, our studio is based in Little Myanmar, this immigrant community in Taipei. So let me provide some little background on this community. So this community was actually established in around 60s to 90s when many Burmese Chinese nationals were forced to leave Myanmar due to like military coup or anti-foreign policies and economic reforms in Myanmar. So around then, Taiwan opened its doors to these immigrants and leading the formation of the sizable immigrant community comprising over estimated 70,000 individuals. So now we can do a little practice, like imagine if you are an immigrant who just landed in a foreign country, trying to find a life here, and what are some challenges that you encounter first? So for immigrants, these challenges of adapting to a new country are numerous. So for example, the first thing is definitely the language barriers are among the most daunting, and as many newcomers arrive here without proficiency in Mandarin and finding employment or making friends and supporting system or settling down at school, adding to the complexity of settling in the foreign lands. And of course, the cultural differences further compound these challenges and often resulting in discriminations or prejudice. So right now, actually, there are over 1.6 million people coming from South Asia living here in Taiwan. Some of them are immigrants, some of them are second or third generation or migrant workers. And in New Taipei City alone, the population of immigrants is over solely in immigrant is over 110,000 people. So, but with over 1.6 millions of immigrants living on the same land, but actually the lack of understanding to the life and culture of South Asian culture results in discrimination and prejudice, especially in the past. People back in the 60s, they actually have little understanding of its South Asian culture, and let alone the fact that we often saw people putting relatively negative labels on media coverages or social platforms until, I would say, until 2016. When where the new southbound policy was released, that we almost got to see the shift in the narratives and the impression of these South Asian immigrants and migrant workers. But despite the obstacles, these immigrant women plays a pivotal role in this community. In the journey of migration, we often see that women are responsible for sustaining their families while adapting to a new culture. They build their home through food while providing their fellow Burmese people with these traditional Burmese food. And throughout the process, we also observe the resilience and the strength of these women who navigate multiple roles with grace and determination. However, these voices are often being neglected in the mainstream society. So at Minglaba at Minglaba, we are committed to amplifying the voices of these immigrant women and changing the stereotype. And through our studio, we try to create diverse channels of and for people to explore the uniqueness of Little Myanmar and to break down the stereotype or the fear people hold for against the community. We also document the history and evolution of our community, highlighting the contributions of these immigrants and celebrating the cultural heritage. And since our start in 2018, we have produced magazines to record the local knowledge and to promote the local culture. And we also conduct lots of research. We also do picture books to facilitate discussions on migration discussion inside classrooms. And these resources have been embraced by schools, like we can see from our readers. They will bring the magazines along the way when they are exploring the community, or we can see that from, we will hear the stories from the second generation of immigrants that they get to know their family migration paths after reading the magazine. Or we can see teachers telling us they use the magazine as an auxiliary materials for multicultural class at schools. And of course, we also hear stories from feedbacks from the local residents that, oh yeah, this is it. We need more people to understand the community through these magazines, and these magazines are good for them to explore the community. And in addition to publishing, we also offer diverse cultural tools and experience like walking tours to connect the locals and an immigrant community. And we also do cooking class to pass on these local knowledge and skills. However, working with immigrant women present its own sets of challenges, to be honest, like including the language barriers, because most of them, some of them are not really fluent in Chinese. They only speak Burmese or some English or some of their dialect, or sometimes they are shy to share their own stories, or sometimes they will feel, oh, they don't know how to demonstrate their capacity. So for us, we actually adopt a multifaceted approach, serving sometimes as a translator or a scriptwriter or a curator to help facilitate these communication and help these immigrant women to build confidence within their expertise and knowledge. So to recognize the importance of empowering these immigrant women, we embark on a journey to provide them with the tools and resources needed and to help them to thrive and shine. So in 2020, one of our initiatives involved this tour guide empowerment training tailored specifically for immigrant women. So actually, you can see from the photos that most of our students back then are mostly female, only 2 of them are males. And these courses cover a wide range of topics, including local history, tour planning, or storytelling skills, and self-confidence building. So we hope that we can, through sharing our knowledge, and we can further extend the partnership with the community and the women. And for us, the purpose of launching our tour guide empowerment training program is actually to tell the story from the perspective of women, equipping these immigrant women with skills to become ambassadors of this community. So I want to share one of the stories that touches me very deeply was the participation of some second generation Burmese immigrant. Before they join the program, they actually have little understanding of their own culture. Throughout their youth period, they used to be very shy to say they were born in Myanmar, and in classroom, they would try to hide their Burmese roots. For example, they might be laughed by the classmate, by the accent or the food in the lunch boxes. But however, it was after they joined the program and started to understand their backgrounds, they got to embrace who they are, to embrace their cultural identity. And they start to be more willing to share more stories of their childhood memories in Myanmar. And some of them even started to take Burmese language class to trace their roots. So I think these stories are very inspiring for us. And over the years, we've also also witnessed these remarkable transformation as immigrant women embrace their narratives and reclaim their cultural identity. And we've seen them from changing from a passive or a relatively flat passive or a shy immigrant to an active and passionate storyteller. So, and we are also very happy to build up this joint effort with the community, not just the restaurant, but also different kinds of local business to tell the stories of these Burmese immigrants and to promote the local culture and business together. So our studio serves as an hub for creativity, collaboration, and culture exchange. And as we look to the future, our vision is very clear. We hope to create a society where everyone feels valued and respected and empowered to embrace their cultural heritage. So with our actions and projects, we really we're really glad that we help these immigrant women build up their own cultural competence and help lift up the community. So, and we believe that creating this diverse and inclusive environment would allow everyone to be fearless and to be their true selves. So, thank you. We invite you to join us on this journey of discovery and celebration empowerment at Minglaba Culture Studio and also here at Little Myanmar community. So thank you for your listening and support, and we look forward to welcoming you in near future here in Little Myanmar in Taipei in Taiwan. Thank you.
Thank you, Annalie. And coupon? Just kidding. So I'm so inspired that I think you have done a lot to not only the Myanmar immigrations, but set up a frame to help immigrations from language to empower them. So I'd like to discuss with you later, but now let's have the group photo first. I would like to invite every one of you to turn on your camera. Remember, look into the camera and smile. Also, to take off your mask. Let's do the triple shot. Everyone's ready? Hi, please turn on your camera. Okay, so the first, let's do the thumb up to the great job that you've done today. 3, 2, 1. Yay. So the second, as you are the cutest girl today, do the yeah in a very cute way. 3, 2, 1, yeah. Okay. The third, oh, I felt so much love here. So you can do this or this. Okay, let's do 3, 2, 1, yeah. Okay, thank you so much for making this happen. And let's do a little bit relax. It's all our 3 beautiful speakers. However, this is a really rare opportunity that I can talk to these 3 beautiful speakers today. I want to take the chance and discuss with you guys more. So I have a question to Jenny. By the way, so all the audience that online, you can leave your question or feedback or any message to the chat box, and we will collect it. So my question to Jenny, that the cross-sector collaboration often sounds easy, but can be challenging, especially when the different sectors share little similarity with each other. Do you have any example that when connections are made but not meet the need of the sister, or when there is a gap between expectations and reality. How do you overcome these situations?
In terms of cross-sector collaboration, given the far-reaching nature of Internet, our approach this year began with searching online for companies or platforms currently offering home cleaning service to ask about potential collaboration opportunities. However, some home cleaning companies, for fear of customer complaints, require applicants to have more than a year of practical experience. Also, some platforms and companies mandate that service workers pay to participate in their training program, which is different from our original expectation. Lastly, we are grateful for those companies that were still willing to try and work with us for a recurrent meeting. Thank you.
I see. So I think the same question to Anna Lee. Anything impressive that cross-domain resources that helps a lot, or does anything that make it really difficult?
Yeah, like the tour guide empowerment training program highlighted in my presentation facilitate collaboration across sectors, empowering these immigrant women in our community. So, but leveraging these resources from community organization or educational institutions or local business or different business, these programs offer comprehensive support to immigrant community. For example, we were fortunate enough to build up a long-term partnership with Walking Taiwan, a tourism agency focusing on sustainable travels. They've helped us in terms of our tour promotion or connecting us with more corporate clients. And we also got to have the opportunity close partnerships with nearby schools and universities, and these supports not only came from small things like venue rentals or promotions, but also led to future collaboration on more cultural preservation or inclusion projects. So, of course, the challenging part is always to look for fundings, and throughout the program, we also try to tackle the relationship that we have with the local restaurants and business with effective communication. And because we didn't want to affect the business or work too much, while we also need to take care of the learning depth of the students. So for each steps that we did, we tackle it. We need to tackle it with care. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Anna Lee. Now I have a question to Li Mei. From your sharing, I see how you've gone beyond just fishing and selling, but also aiming to sell at a good price and even providing tour package to help a fishing village. Do you have any memories about the resources that supported you in marketing or selling? Anything impressive?
In terms during fishery production, we also want to promote these fishery products, of course. So the best way is to establish our own brand. This is why in Gongliao district, when it comes to aquaculture, we produce our Gongliao abalone brand. When we mention Gongliao to people immediately think about our brand, that is the Gongliao abalone. In so doing, we actually set ourselves apart from other regions. We brand and monitor our production of fishery products by the Fishermen Association and the government. So the best way to ensure the safety of fishery product is to establish our own brand. And during the production season of ribbon fish, we produce and process their products. For sometimes the distribution can be challenging. So we want to resort to a variety of ways to promote our products. So we have been actively promoting local tours to fishing villages. We hope to leverage the power of tourism to drive local economic development, to promote the selling and distribution of fishery products and drive local development.
May. Now, my curious goes to the new Taipei City Government. We know the government plays an important role in the cross-sector collaboration, whether through policy making or guidelines. We hope that the Department of Social Welfare can share with us the upcoming key policies, service promotions, or visions for women's empowerment.
Hello, everyone. My name is Su Huijun. I'm the chair of the Community Development and the Women Welfare Division from the Social Welfare Department of New Taipei City Government. Thank you for asking. Next, I will answer in Chinese.
In recent years, New Taipei City Government has found that some women, because of marriage, because of raising children, they have left the workforce. Now that they want to come back, they have encountered some challenges. That's why we have been promoting the types of atypical employment so that these women can balance the job with taking care of the family because of the more flexible working hours, and they can get ready for returning to the workforce in the future. Of course, in addition to this cross-departmental collaboration in the government, we will continue to work with NPOs to offer more support for women. We also encourage companies to provide more women-friendly environment, and we want to allow women to and make it easier for them to return to the workforce and to realize themselves. In Taiwan and in New Taipei City, of course, we have faced with low birth rate challenge. So companies have to think about this question very seriously. You have to think about how you can return the female talent by creating a more friendly working environment.
Jean. So the same question to Anna Lee. Regarding to the policy, that what's your view that could possibly increase the smoothness or opportunities for cross-sector operation? Or are there any further calls to action for our government, industry, academia to pay attention, or suggestion for adjustment and improvements?
Yeah, thanks for the questions. I think cross-sectors cooperation plays a vital role in fostering inclusivity and empowering immigrant communities, of course. So firstly, I think government can establish policies that promote diversity and provide support for immigrant integration programs. And these could also include funding for multi-language help and administration services or policy statement or promotions, and also as well as job training and cultural exchange initiatives. And I think industry can help too. Nowadays, more and more companies are adapting the policies of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion at workplace. So company can collaborate with groups like us to provide the DEI cultural sensitivity programs and help employees to understand people with different backgrounds. And from the academia side, I think it can also contribute by conducting research on an immigrant experience and developing educational resources like that can promote cross-cultural understanding. And we've been collaborating with schools from primary school to universities with cultural appreciation learning like walking tours or immigrant story sharing like workshops or lectures. And we also do a lot of collaborative projects between university and immigration. Immigrant organization can facilitate these knowledge exchange and empower immigrant women through this education and skill development. So overall, I think increased collaboration between government, industry, and academia is essential for creating creating a more inclusive society where immigrant voices are valued and celebrated. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna Lee, for your comment. So now let's go to the Li Mei. Do you think what you've done for 40 years that really support sisters to find their position of working? Any impression stories to share? Also, those rural areas that we know people move out a lot. Are you seeing that young people coming back
Many young people indeed have left the fishing village. So in 2016, we have started to think about how we could help the fishing village to transform, to have more leisure tourism. In Ma'ao Fishing Village is actually quite famous fishing village. And we want to build the first fishing demonstration area. And it is quite challenging. Of course, you are going to face some opposition when you propose this idea in the first place. But after communications with the local community, with the local fishermen, they have realized that the local government, the fisheries agency, and the College of Maritime Affairs, etc., through communications with stakeholders, now fishermen now understand the importance of this, and we have transformed Ma'ao Fishing Village into a village that focusing on the leisure fishing. And now we have more tourists. Over 200,000 tourists visited this fishing village. They come here for cycling or to have the experience as a fisherman, to understand the culture behind the fishing village. And since it is quite laid back at the fishing village, now we see more young people come back. In the past, we didn't have restaurants, we didn't have local snack food stand, but now we have 9 such restaurants. And in the past, women didn't really work, but now they have their own shop. So you see this transformation really drives the local economic development.
You that taking my question. So now we'll have an audience online to have some questions and feedback. If you want to have the feedback on the chat box, please do. I'll help to read out and pass to the speakers. Also, you can raise your hand in WebEx. So there is a button under the window. So now I have 2 questions from online. Let me read it out. 线上提问
This is from online, from teacher Zhen. But the postpartum service center, it is quite expensive. And that's why they don't accept these trainees from your program. How do you overcome this challenge? Maybe you have to have a niche market. Maybe you can offer subsidies for the institutions who are willing to take on trainees from your program so that it will provide more incentives for them. Maybe I will invite Jenny or maybe the city government to answer this question.
Our online audience, and now the translator will briefly translate the question. The first question is from teacher Jen. The question is about the situation where postpartum care service centers often charge hefty prices for the service they deliver. And we also learned that they actually sometimes decline internship opportunities introduced by the public sector. So how do you actually address such challenges? For example, I'm thinking you can provide subsidies or other kinds of incentives to encourage these postpartum care service providers to work with the government to provide internship opportunities. So perhaps we can direct this question to Jenny or other representatives from the new Taipei City Government. Thank you.
好，谢谢提问。
Thank you for your question. So the postpartum service center, they do not want to take on the trainees from your program. And in order to solve the problem, well, during the pandemic, we asked some experienced postpartum service providers in our program to share their experience, to share their work, so that our trainees have some understanding of the work itself, so they know what their work entails. In the future, in terms of the subsidies that you proposed, we will talk to other departments inside the new Taipei City government to see what kinds of incentives we can offer to encourage them to take on our trainees. And for the postpartum service or providers or caregivers, if we're going to have a certification program, maybe it will be easier for us to have this internship program because it is already a certification program, but now we still focus on providing the internship as much as possible. Thank you. The second and the third question is for Li Mei. In Gongliao, many women collect some seaweeds. Do you have a number for the value of this from the fisheries agency? The second question is, I'm very impressed by your work in Gongliao. You have used many ways to drive local economic development and environmental protection. Have you ever encountered any conflicts in this process, and how do you address this?
Questions are directed to Director General Lin Meiling from the Gongliao District Fishermen's Association. The first question is that we learned that the local female divers actually gather a lot of seaweeds from the ocean. So do you have an official estimates about the rough production value of the seaweed production in the region? And secondly, it is very impressive to see how the various initiatives introduced by the Fishermen's Association have been conducive to local economic development and marine resource protection. However, over the years, have there been any kinds of gender conflicts or gender-based differences that you have observed, and how do you overcome these differences?
非常谢谢。
Thank you. So for these women, they collect seaweeds and sell it to tourists or sell it to restaurants, or some just use the seaweed for themselves. So we don't have an exact number for the production value, but thank you for your suggestion. We're going to try to calculate the production value in the future. Next question is for Anna Lee. From your work in the Myanmar community, I think it is building a system, a support system to help the local community. In your studio, do you have any program that aims to help other communities?
It's actually a personal question for Ms. Annalei Yao. So when it comes to the efforts you have made to serve the Burmese community, we know that you have this systematic approach to reach out to this specific immigrant populations. But I would like to know whether your studio has plans to broaden your service provision to other immigrant communities as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Actually, from last year in 2023, we started well, let's say it's a dining experience with storytelling. We provide different we provide over 10 dishes from these immigrant chefs with their own, combining with their own life story during the process of migration. And these we called it Little Myanmar Family Feast. So it's like welcoming visitors to go to the immigrants' home and to have their own delicacies and listen to their own story. And over the years, over 1 year, we've created there has been more than 800 of clients and customers to join this cultural experience. And in near future, actually in this years, we are planning to expand this business model to include and empower more immigrants, women like from Thai background, Cambodia, or Indonesia, or any other Southeast Asian country to join this empowerment program and become creating more dining experience with storytelling like this. Yeah.
Thank you, Annalie. I think it's really nice. So next question, I want to ask that to 慧君科长。刚刚分享呢，我们看到
You shared with us this idea of flexible working hours. This is very helpful for women who have to take care of their kids or take care of the elderly who are sick at home. I'm wondering, at the city government level, in addition to postpartum caregivers or homekeepers, do you have other kinds of jobs, more professional job? So for example, there are some people specializing in arranging or organizing your households or kitchen. Is there any other approach?
The next question is directed to Division Chief Ms. Shu Huijun from the Division of Community Development and Women Welfare. From this presentation made by the speaker, we learned that the option for women to work flexible hours has been highly beneficial for them, so that they can actually engage in their career development while balance their care duties, for example, when they take care of their children and ailing parents. And from the government's perspective, we just shared that there are some fundamental services provided to these women population, for example, postpartum care services and training and empowerment in professional housekeepers. But I'm wondering, in the future, is it possible for you to actually develop and introduce more professional career paths for these women? For example, in addition to general housekeeping, we may also need more specialized services for kitchen cleaning, home cleaning, and other specialized careers. So may we hear from you, please? Thank you.
谢谢. Thank you for your question. This is a very good question. This is very important. Well, if you look at the strength of women, as we helped them to return to the workforce, I think we should tap into the strength or their advantages. So we empower women to take care of other members, not just their own families, but also others, so they can be involved in the caregiving industry and they get paid for their professional service. That would be the first step. As for the second step, just as you mentioned, in the future, we're going to offer more professionalized training. Through professional training and empowerment, we can allow women to have more specialized profession and to provide more professionalized service, and this will increase their income, of course. In the future, we will also take a look at the demand and also the interest of the women to develop more options for women. Thank you for your answer. And the next question is for Li Mei. There was one question about this gender-based conflicts and how do you communicate with others to address this. Another question is, as you promote this fishing tourism, how do you allow the members at the home economics class to really do volunteer work and to increase their income?
let us give the floor to Director General Lin from Gongliao District, because just now you still have one outstanding question regarding how you actually address gender differences when you promote local initiatives. And another question that's coming in is that while promoting local fishery tourism, how do you ensure that all the female students of the home economics class can actually participate in volunteer activities while boosting their economic power as well?
Regarding gender-based conflicts, I don't see that as a challenge because I myself, I'm a woman and I have been working in this field for over 40 years. Even if it's a male-dominated industry or maybe some talks in the home economic class, I talk with these people from my own experience. So I don't see there's any gender-based conflicts in this. And how do you make it possible for them to have more income? Well, when it comes to increasing income, I think now people find it more and more acceptable for women to work in this sector. And we have many workshops. The central government and the local communities have been working together to offer workshops and information sessions so that women in the fishing villages understand that they can now make use of this to increase their income.
I have another online question that 关于缅甸街很
Regarding the Myanmar community, I'm very glad to see that you have published magazines and picture book. Could you give us more details? Maybe we can see the frequency of the publication.
Question again for Ms. Anile Yao. When it comes to, we're happy to learn that your studio actually has its own publications and picture books. So can you elaborate more on such publication? For example, how often do you publish them? Who's in charge of the publication? Who are its target readers? And how influential has your publication been? Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the questions. Our magazine is released once a year or twice a year, so it's actually quite irregular. The published time is actually irregular, and for each edition, we print over 2,000 copies per edition, and our readers actually covers wide range from teachers and students that are doing South Asian studies or regular readers who are interested in South Asian cultures. And so I think for us, to create this magazine, our studio actually tackles all the things from writing, researching, photography, designing, and distribution. So we actually take care of everything. And I think the most important impact, I would say, is from the educational side. We get a lot of feedbacks from schools, from primary school to university. Like I said in the presentation, a lot of teachers are using it as an auxiliary tools for their multicultural or social inclusion courses at school. So I think it's important for us to see these inspiring and also inspiring for us to hear these feedbacks. And I think another important impact is also from the second generation of immigrants here and at the community, because we also get to help the local, not just local business to promote their own work and delicacies. We also get to help these second generation immigrants to build up their own, to trace their own family past and cultural roots. Yeah, and I think that's what motivates us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anna Lee. 我们有线上的下一个问题，
Next question from online.
办理坐月子培训或是开发其他的职种以外，有没有机会和其他的企业合作，可以让工作类别的管道更多元？
Okay, so the next question is again for Division Chief Su from the Division of Community Development and Women Welfare. So in addition to training disadvantaged women to become postcard caregivers or choose from other career options, is there any possibility for the government to work with the business sector or enterprises to explore more career options for them? Thank you.
好. This is something that we will focus on in the future as well. We are very willing to work with more companies to provide more job options that are suitable for women.
是对于拓展多元职能的提升，如何突破？因为现在妇女时间不够，可以让他们如何来参与接受训练呢？
So the next question is that, of course, we want everybody to benefit from an inclusive society, but sometimes women are short on time. They don't have enough additional time to participate in career or employment training. So how do we address these challenges?
I think this requires the collaboration between the public sector and the private sector so that more support can be provided, such as childcare program or the care programs for the elderly, so that women can have more opportunities to take on internship program or to take on training programs so that they can be trained professionally. And in the future, through the building of this support program, this will be the foundation for them to work. And this requires MPOs and the government to work together.
等一下，我们还有下一题进来。发言人是这个越南讲师，那他想要问说是什么样子的契机？我想这个问题是给 Anna Lee， 是怎么样的契机会接触新住民，想要推动新住民的文化呢？
So the next question is posed from a Vietnamese lecturer for Ms. Anna Yao. So actually, what brought you into this realm to provide services or to serve the immigrant opportunity? What was the original context for your endeavors, please?
So my co-founder and I, for example, my co-founder, she was born and raised in Myanmar and moved to Taiwan at the age of 10, and she's been living in the community for over 30 years. So over these years, she found that for a lot of Taiwanese visitors who like to come to the community to have food or to buy something, they often encounter some problems like they don't know how to order, how to eat like the locals, or sometimes they would be a little bit afraid to go into these restaurants because these restaurants are often filled with local Burmese immigrants. So sometimes, I think, for example, I think one of the reasons is that these sense of insecurity and fear of the culture that you don't understand often creates this kind of fear that you and creating this kind of fear to explore, to understand another culture. So I think one of the most important things that we do and also our starting point is that we want to create a bridge between the Taiwanese community and the local Burmese immigrant community to create and connect the people together and to create a platform for people to understand, oh, you know this information, and following this information or guidelines or like information, you can actually have a little bit more sense of security, I would say, so that you won't be afraid to enter this restaurant and talk with the locals, and you don't have to worry about the language barriers because these Burmese immigrants, they're very, very welcoming, and they all hope that you can to have a try just to experience the taste of Myanmar, and then you start to understand the life and the history of these past. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Anna Lee. Here we have another question to you as well. 发言人是曾女香，单位是台湾新住民人权协会。那他想问说，身为越南籍的新移民，想问 Anna Lee， 如果有更具体积极的方式，可以来服务我们新住民的姐妹呢？
Okay, so the next question is posed by Ms. Zheng Yuxiang, representing a New Immigrant Human Rights Association in Taiwan. So the question is, does your studio have any future plans to serve new immigrant sisters in a more active way in the future? Thank you.
Thanks for the questions. I think the Burmese immigrant, the history background of these Burmese immigrants coming to Taiwan is actually quite different from the marriage immigrant from Southeast Asia. So I think the context actually is, will be very different for them to tackle. The challenges that they will face is actually quite different. For example, I think if they are marriage immigrants, they will often encounter the barriers, language barriers. For example, if they want to go to administration service, sometimes they don't know how to. They cannot read these documents in Mandarin. So I think it's important for the governments or more corporate to provide these kind of multi-language translation services for them. I think it's one of the most important service that the government or the different processors service that can provide. And also for us, because we are more of a cultural group, so we tackle the issues with more soft skills. So for us, in this year we are planning to help and empower the immigrants, also include the marriage immigrants, to help them to better express their own stories. So we will provide different kinds of storytellings and cooking and event planning skills, and also more importantly, we will help them to develop their own products to sell online, to do this kind of micro business, to help them if they are very busy or short on time at life, they can sell these small products and get extra revenues for their families.
Okay, now because of the time limit, we'll have the last question. 这个提问的内容是对这个科长，由于高龄化社会来临，关怀据点的因应产生，那接引出很多的高龄妇女。相对的呢，也发现这些妇女呢，会有特殊的专才，请问有没有平台让他们有所发挥？
Okay, so the last but not least question goes to Division Chief Su again. So as we know, in the age of an aging society, we see the emergence, a lot of community-based care stations being established, but also we see a growing population of middle-aged to older women as well. But sometimes these middle-aged older women have their special skills. So I'm wondering, will the government establish a platform where these women with special skills can really bring their potential into full play? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Regarding middle aged women or women of older age, how do we support them to return to the workforce? In New Taipei City, we have 2 kinds of career continuity center for women and middle-aged workers. If they want to return to the workplace, we offer them support. We offer them the help that they need to return to the workforce. And if they want to fully exert their professions, actually, the Department of Social Welfare have all kinds of programs to support them. We have many care centers. We have the one for the new immigrants, for the elderly. We also have the ones for women. So these are different kinds of platforms to help the middle-aged women to exert more influence in society. Thank you.
Thank you, Hui Jun. Because of the time limit, This is the last question. I really appreciate you so much for attending today's forum. So I would like to invite you to open your camera and let's say goodbye together. Please remember, every little step that you take will make the world better. I hope you have a great day today. Let's say goodbye. Bye. Bye-bye.